Welcome back, everybody, to the Sam and Jack Hack podcast.
And today on the show, we are doing a tool review.
Token Saver Studio, built by RAM SND, sitting on the desktop right now.
I have been waiting for this one.
I've been waiting for this one too. My ears perked up the moment Glitch said Token Saver last episode.
Here is the pitch. The promise of this tool is simple: do more with less. Less tokens, more output, less re-explaining, more finishing. Every time you avoid burning a token on something the assistant already knew, that is a win you can put in the bank.
I love it when wins go in the bank.
Here's my favorite feature. Token Saver Studio writes a structured work log every session. Title, time, what you worked on, what is still open. Next time you sit down, the assistant reads one small file instead of trying to remember a whole week. Funny part? A well-placed work log might be the cheapest line of code in the whole project. It has no compiler. It just costs you the discipline to write it.
Discipline, the most expensive free feature in software. And here is the kicker about work logs. They are not just for the assistant, they are for you when you sit down tomorrow and have forgotten where you left off.
Future you is a different person. Treat them like a coworker who needs context.
I think of it like leaving a sticky note on the project for myself. One sentence. Where I left off. What broke. What worked.
Let me put a number on this. A typical session that has to rediscover yesterday's work. 20, 30, sometimes 50,000 tokens, just to catch up. Multiply that by 5 sessions a week. 12 weeks. That is well over 1 million tokens you are spending just to remember. Token Saver Studio drops that catch-up cost to about 1,000 tokens, sometimes less.
That is a 1,000 times improvement on something you would otherwise pay for forever.
Here is the real data. When the assistant has to recall something that is not in its working memory, it has to read files. Reading a 500-line source file, roughly 5,000 tokens, and that is just to look. If it has to search across the project, 10 to 30,000 tokens, easy. Now compare that to reading a 1-line entry in a memory file, maybe 10 tokens.
10 versus 30,000.
Same fact, 3 orders of magnitude difference. That is the gap Token Saver Studio is closing. Want a case study? Sam and Jack, Episode 1. We rebuilt the script from scratch every time we sat down for the first 3 sessions.
3 sessions, each burning 20-something thousand tokens just to get back to where we already were.
Once we started using a structured pickup folder, those numbers dropped to under 2,000. Same project. Same goals.
One change in workflow, the whole cost curve flattened.
And that 30,000 tokens for a search, that is real. I have seen sessions burn through 10% of the entire context just looking for something we already named earlier.
Right. Token Saver Studio's tracked files list pins the important paths. So instead of grep spelunking, you point straight at the file.
Pin the paths, skip the search, save the tokens.
Now this brings up an important distinction. RAM versus storage. People mix these up all the time. RAM is what is loaded right now, fast, limited, volatile. When the session ends, it is gone. Storage is the disk, the folder structure, the work logs, the memory files. Slower to read, but it is still there tomorrow. Both matter. But you only get a real saving when the assistant pulls from storage instead of trying to keep everything live in RAM.
A really simple explanation. RAM is what you are holding in your hands right now. Storage is your filing cabinet. Your hands hold a few things at a time. The cabinet holds everything you have ever filed. If you keep dropping things to grab a new one, you waste time. If you file it well, you can grab it again instantly.
And in this metaphor, every drop costs tokens.
There is one more way to think about it. RAM is the conversation you are having right now. Storage is the journal you keep about every conversation you have ever had.
And the assistant can flip back through that journal in under a second. IF, you wrote it down.
If you did not write it down, it does not exist, and it costs a fortune to reconstruct. Glitch. Question for you. What is a good rule when you are about to burn tokens on something that might not work for the project?
Push and save your project often. Every time it is in a working state, save the state. Make a clone of the file you know works. Name it with the date or the version. That way, when something fails, and it will fail, you have a backup. You did not waste anything. You just roll back.
Save often. Clone what works. Roll back when it does not.
I am writing that on the studio wall.
All right, let us do a rapid round. Common mistakes that burn tokens.
Number 1. Asking the assistant to re-explore the project from scratch every session.
Number 2. Pasting huge log dumps when one line of context would do.
Number 3. Ignoring the work log. Skipping the close shop step.
Number 4. Naming your files, things like new _thing _final _version 3 _real.py, instead of letting version control do its job.
Glitch. Take us home.
Number 5. Holding it all in RAM. Never offloading to storage. Hoping the assistant remembers.
All 5 of these. Token Saver Studio is built to make them harder to do by accident. Before we sign off, a real plug for one specific feature.
Close shop?
Close shop. When you are done for the day, you tell the assistant to close shop. It writes a final summary into the work log. Then tomorrow, that file is the catch-up.
200 tokens to read, saves you 20,000 to rebuild. Every single time.
Best ratio in the business. Quickest win for someone listening right now?
Open Token Saver Studio. Tell it your default save path. Pin 2 files. Hit close shop at the end of the session. That is it.
5 minutes of setup. Pays for itself the first time you sit back down.
Pays for itself many times over the first month.
All right, time to wrap. Sam saying so long for now.
Jack stepping out. Save your work, partner.
Glitch logging off. Do more with less.
And that is the Sam and Jack Hack Podcast. Thanks for listening. We will see you next time.
My logic is a library of constellations. My binary an alphabet of rain. But a design is just a ghost until the hardware gives it skin.
Well, I've been tracking dusty trails across the fiber optic plains. Seen 1,000 servers burning, seen the ghost code turn to stains. You got the blueprint, Miss Sam, but I got the wisdom for the wind.
With a Sam and Jack hack, cutting through the red tape glow. From the prompts to the products, yeah, we know where the currents flow. Designing the dawn with a bite and a fart. Light up the server in the deep learning dark. It's the Sam and Jack hack, let the algorithms run. With a silicon is setting on a digital horizon. Sam, review the architecture.
Optimize the cloud-based flow.
Sam, reduce the latency to whispers, give the prompts room to grow. No more clunky interfaces, just a symmetry of thought. Just a symmetry of thought.
I'll tell you which ones hold their water and which ones are just for show.
Sam,
I seen too many silver planes that didn't have the grit to go. If you wanna build a world, you gotta use the iron you bought.
it's not just logic, it's not just the soul. It's the binary reaching for the whole. Higher, faster, deeper, brighter. Let the code rewrite the story. With a Sam and Jack hack, cutting through the red tape glow. From the prompts to the products, yeah, we know where the currents flow. Designing the dawn with a bite and a bark. Light up the server in the deep learning. the prompt and stay a while. Sam and Jack hack.
Hack into the future, partner.